rise then to what becomes known as the Jim Crow era.
All right.
Now, after 1896, what we then have in America, two distinct worlds, one black and one white.
Okay.
It gives rise then to the color theater, the white theater, the colored water fountain, the white water fountain, the colored park, the white park, the colored school. And let's stop at the colored school because they were separate, but they were not equal. I remember growing up in the old city of Nashville, I attended the Wharton School. And at the old Wharton School, my first grade classroom was in the basement. When it rained on us in the basement. There were those cold winter mornings where there was no coal for the furnace. We sat there in our coats, and if we blowed our breath,
you can see it in
we could see our breath. But we still learned, even though we received the second class, the hand-me-down textbooks that they didn't want and had used and abused. When they got the new ones, we got the old ones. But Dr. Haney, I serve notice today that it did not stop us from excelling and learning, because we had Negro educators who knew the importance of education and who realized that it was our meal ticket, it was our ticket to the promised land. So even though we were being taught in adverse situations, they were determined that we were going to get a quality education because they knew that a mind
is a terrible thing.
Is a terrible thing to waste.
Now, over the last 3 minutes, when you look at the African-American public education today, what do you find? Has the advent of President Obama has that done anything to help elevate higher education among Africans? What do you think the situation is?
Obama has made a great stride in improving quality education in America across the board.
Everybody. Good.
Across the board. He calls it race to the top. The Obama administration here in our native great state of Tennessee, we were awarded $800 million here in Tennessee to improve quality education all across the state. But Dr. Haney, we must understand, it's good to have the money. But sometimes throwing money at a situation does not mean you have solved the problem. See, I have a problem sometimes when we take good money and throw it after bad money or throw it in the wind. Now, what I'm saying then with that, we do need the $800 million. But is the $800 million really being trickled down to those who really need the money in order to elevate and move forward with their future? Well, what is happening then in public education? The poor, and especially African-American students, and I want to emphasize African-American males, we are being miseducated. See, it's one thing to be under the same roof with majority people, but I can be under the same roof and still be what? Miseducated. When I'm being taught by people who does not like me, who does not have any compassion or love for me, people who teach at me and not to me, people who does not understand my subculture, not trying to understand, people who misunderstand the goal of public education. That's why it's called public education. We educate everybody. And by the way, public education was an achievement, or was a system that came out of the Reconstruction period. We must understand that we educate everybody. But when we look at public education today, and especially in Tennessee, we have what they call magnet schools.
Okay, well, let's stop here, Dr. Baxter, because I think we're just about running out of time.
All right.
And I appreciate your passion.
Very good.
But we're just about out of time, and let us encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you, and good morning.
Fox 17 News at